Let me ask you something. Did you know there's a tiny seed often ignored on your grocery shelf that actually has more usable protein than eggs? And not just that, it may be one of the most powerful natural tools we have to reverse sarcopenia, the silent muscle wasting process that speeds up after age 50 and quietly robs you of your strength, balance, and mobility. See, most people associate muscle loss with aging like it's some inevitable fate. But the truth is, it's not age that causes sarcopenia, it's a loss of metabolic function, a breakdown in your body's ability to repair, rebuild, and absorb amino acids effectively. And when your muscle fibers shrink, you don't sit, just get weaker. Your metabolism tanks, your insulin sensitivity drops, and your fat-burning capacity slows to a crawl. That SIPS is why older adults often gain fat and lose muscle at the same time. A dangerous combo called sarcopenic obesity, but here's the good news. Muscle is a metabolically active organ that responds fast, especially when you feed it correctly. And believe it or not, there's one natural food that's been overlooked. A seed that delivers complete amino acids, anti-inflammatory compounds, and deeply bioavailable protein. Even better, it's shelf-stable, plant-based, and doesn't spike insulin the way some protein powders or high-protein foods do. So, if you're over 50, over 60, or just want to keep your body biologically young, this tiny seed could be a game-changer. In this video, I am going to break down why most people aren't set absorbing protein effectively, even if they eat enough. The real cause of sarcopenia after 60, the seed that outperforms eggs when it comes to actual muscle-building amino acids. How to use it, when to eat it, how to prepare it, and what to pair it with for maximum results. The metabolic triggers that cause sarcopenia and how to reverse them naturally, and why this one food can help restore strength, prevent falls, and improve your energy even in your 70s and beyond. Because remember, losing muscle isn't a symptom of aging, it's a symptom of nutrient breakdown, and when you fix the root cause, your body can rebuild itself fast. So if you're serious about long-term strength, mobility, and a fast metabolism well into your senior years, stick with me. I'll show you how to retrain your body to grow muscle naturally, starting with what's on your plate. And if you find these insights helpful, make sure to subscribe. I post content like this every single day to help you optimize your metabolic health naturally. Let's dive in. Let me explain what's really going on inside your body when you start losing muscle after 50. Most people think sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass and strength, is just a natural part of aging. But that's not the full picture. Muscle loss doesn't begin in your muscles, it begins in your metabolism, and at the root of that breakdown, three silent disruptors: insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction. Let's break these down. When you eat, especially carbohydrates, your body releases insulin. Insulin is an anabolic hormone. It helps shuttle nutrients into your cells, including amino acids, into your muscles. But as you age, and especially with poor metabolic habits, your cells become less responsive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance. Now, here's the key. If your muscles are insulin resistant, they can't absorb amino acids effectively, even if you're eating high-protein meals. So, instead of using that protein to rebuild muscle, your body stores it as fat or eliminates it. The result, you feel like you're doing everything right, eating healthy, staying active, and still getting weaker. Now, add to this the chronic low-grade inflammation that most people over 50 deal with: inflamed joints, gut dysbiosis, liver congestion, poor sleep. This inflammation damages your muscle fibers and blocks recovery. It also raises cortisol, your stress hormone, which breaks down muscle tissue further in a process called catabolism. Finally, common protein foods that fail seniors, there's the mitochondria, the energy factories inside your cells. These start to decline in both number and efficiency with age, but muscle tissue is highly mitochondrial, so when mitochondrial function drops, your ability to generate ATP and recover from exercise crashes too. Let me give you a simple analogy. Think of your muscle building system like a construction site. Protein is the bricks, insulin is the forklift that carries the bricks to the site. Mitochondria are the workers building the structure. Inflammation, that's the fire spreading across the job site, destroying progress every day. So even if you have bricks, high-protein food, if the forklift isn't working, the workers are tired and the site is inflamed. Nothing gets built. That's why the conventional approach, just eat more protein, doesn't work after a certain age. It's not about how much protein you eat. It's about how your body uses that protein. So here sits what the research shows. A study published in Aging Research Reviews found that improving insulin sensitivity through diet and intermittent fasting significantly enhances muscle protein synthesis in older adults, not by eating more, but by absorbing better. Another 2023 review in Nutrients concluded that chronic inflammation reduces muscle anabolic response by up to 30%. Even in people consuming the RDA of protein, here's the point. If you don't fix your metabolism, you can't fix your muscle loss. And this is exactly why the seed we'll talk about shortly is so powerful, because it doesn't just deliver protein, it improves absorption, calms inflammation, and supports metabolic repair at the root level. So, what can you do starting today? Here sits your first action step. If you're not already doing some form of intermittent fasting, even a gentle 12-12 or 1410 protocol, start. Fasting reduces insulin resistance and inflammation, giving your muscles a much-needed reset. Next, cut down the refined carbs, not just sugar, but even the so-called healthy grains. These spike insulin, fuel inflammation, and slow your recovery. And finally, start focusing on metabolic nutrients. Magnesium, vitamin D, omega-3 cells, which we'll circle back to in later sections. The bottom line is this: sarcopenia is not an age problem, it's a signaling problem, and when you fix the signals, your body can rebuild muscle at any age. If this is making sense so far, and you're serious about restoring your strength naturally, go ahead and subscribe. I break down topics like this every single day, so you can take back control of your health. Now, let's talk about something that surprises most people. You can eat plenty of protein and still lose muscle. Yes, even if you're eating eggs, meat, or drinking protein shakes daily. Here's the root issue. Protein consumption doesn't equal protein absorption, and in aging adults, this gap becomes much more severe. Let me explain with a simple analogy. Imagine you're pouring water into a sponge in your 20s and 30s. This sponge, why amino acid absorption is more important than intake, is soft and absorbent. It soaks up water easily, but over time, due to metabolic stress and inflammation, the sponge becomes stiff and dry. You keep pouring water, but almost nothing gets absorbed. This is what happens with your muscle protein synthesis machinery as you age. Now, science confirms this. It's called anabolic resistance, your body's reduced ability to turn protein into muscle tissue as you get older. According to a landmark 2019 study in the Journal of Physiology, seniors require nearly double the amount of amino acids at a meal to stimulate the same level of muscle protein synthesis as younger adults. That's not because older bodies are broken, it's because the signals are weaker and the gut becomes less efficient at extracting and delivering nutrients. But here sits the kicker: not all proteins are created equal. Most people think eggs are the gold standard, and they're certainly good. They score high on the protein digestibility corrected amino acid score (PDC), as which measures how well a protein is absorbed and used by the body. But what the research shows is that some plant-based proteins, when prepared correctly, actually outperform eggs in net amino acid delivery, especially for seniors with digestive issues or sluggish bile flow. Here's SIPS: why animal proteins require more stomach acid and bile to digest. As we age, many people have hypochloremia, low stomach acid, and poor gallbladder function. This makes it harder to break down dense proteins like red meat or even eggs. Many protein shakes are high in whey or soy isolate, which can spike insulin, cause bloating, and in many cases go unabsorbed due to gut inflammation. Cooking methods can destroy bioavailable amino acids. For example, overcooked eggs or processed meats may lose up to 20% of their usable protein value. So, what's SIPS the solution? Here's SIPS: what to focus on instead. Choose proteins that are rich in leucine, the amino acid that triggers ERB2 or your body's muscle-building pathway. Leucine is the ignition key for muscle growth, and you need at least 53 grams of leucine per meal to spark that process, especially in older adults. Space out your protein. Aim for 25-35 g of high-quality protein in 2-3 meals rather than grazing or sipping throughout the day. Studies show that larger boluses are more effective at overcoming anabolic resistance. Support your digestion. Consider adding apple cider vinegar before protein meals or a digestive enzyme containing HCl and protease to help your stomach properly break down protein into amino acids. Fix your liver. The liver plays a major role in processing amino acids and converting them into usable forms. If your liver is sluggish from years of processed food, medications, or alcohol, even the best protein won't get used. Now, this brings us to the star of today's sepsis video, the seed that checks all these boxes: high in bioavailable leucine, easy to digest, rich in enzymes and anti-inflammatory compounds, and unlike many animal products, it supports liver function instead of burdening it. We'll cover that seed in the next section, but here's sits your takeaway for now. It's not about eating more protein. It's about eating smarter protein at the right time with the right digestive support, because if your body can't break this seed beets eggs in protein bioavailability, it down and absorb it, it's not building anything. It's just expensive fuel going unused. Let's reveal the seed you've been waiting for. It's small, versatile, and quietly outperforms many popular animal-based proteins in one key area: bioavailable muscle-building amino acids. The seed is hemp seed, specifically raw-shelled hemp hearts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't hemp just for smoothies or plant-based diets? Not at all. What the research now shows is that hemp seeds contain more usable protein per gram than eggs, especially for aging adults dealing with digestive decline, inflammation, or metabolic slowdown. Let's take a closer look at what makes hemp seeds so powerful. Complete protein profile. Hemp seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids, and more importantly, they have a naturally high concentration of leucine, isoleucine, and bane, the 3 branch-chain amino acids BCAAs your body needs for muscle repair and growth. A 2020 comparative analysis published in Food Chemistry found that hemp protein had a digestibility rating comparable to egg whites when raw and superior when prepared with mild soaking or sprouting. It showed higher bioaccessibility in simulated older adult digestion models, highly digestible even with low stomach acid. Unlike meat, whey, or soy, hemp seed protein is alkaline forming, easy on the liver, and doesn't require heavy bile or stomach acid to be broken down. This is crucial for seniors dealing with bloating, reflux, or sluggish digestion. Rich in edestin, a muscle-friendly protein, hemp seeds are over 60% edestin, a globular protein that closely resembles human blood plasma, making it more recognizable and usable by your body than other plant or even animal proteins. That means faster absorption, quicker recovery, and less metabolic waste. Anti-inflammatory omega-3 CES plus GLA. Hemp seeds are uniquely high in gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, and alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, two anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats that reduce joint pain, lower cortisol, and support hormone balance. These fats directly reduce the inflammatory cytokines that block muscle recovery. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of hemp seeds as pre-digested building blocks, not bricks you have to break down, but Lego pieces already shaped and ready to snap into your muscle fibers. Now, compare that to eggs. Yes, eggs have great protein, but they're rich in sulfur, which can be harder to digest with poor liver function. They also lack fiber and don't contain anti-inflammatory fats, meaning you get protein, but not the whole system muscle, building power, the 9 essential aminos needed to absorb and build effectively. Now here, use hemp seeds to your advantage. How much to eat? Start with 3 tablespoons daily, about 10 g of protein. For therapeutic muscle rebuilding, go up to 6 tablespoons per day, split across 2 meals. When to eat? Best time is post-workout or within 30 minutes of your first meal when your body is primed to synthesize protein. Combine it with resistance exercise, even light body weight movements, or walking uphill to enhance amino acid uptake into the muscle tissue. What to pair it with? Pair with vitamin in C-rich foods like berries or lemon water to enhance collagen synthesis and recovery. Add magnesium-rich greens like spinach to boost protein metabolism. Include 1–2 teaspoons of MCT oil or extra virgin olive oil to further aid absorption and reduce inflammation. What to avoid? Don't heat hemp seeds at high temperatures. Heat destroys the fragile amino acids and omega-3. Avoid mixing with sugary smoothies or refined carb meals which spike insulin and block protein usage. Now, if you're thinking, can this really replace eggs? The answer is it doesn't have to. You can use both. But if you struggle with digestion, inflammation, or post-meal fatigue, hemp seeds might actually work better for your body. And remember, the best protein is the one your body can absorb, convert, and use without stress. If you're enjoying this level of detail and practical strategy, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I share science-based functional medicine tools every day to help you rebuild strength naturally from the inside out. Here's something almost no one talks about when it comes to muscle health. You can eat clean, exercise regularly, and even hit your protein goals. But if your body is inflamed, you're still breaking down more muscle than you're building. See, inflammation doesn't just cause joint pain or fatigue. It directly blocks muscle growth at the cellular level. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're trying to plant a garden. You've got great soil, good seeds, and you're watering regularly, but there's one problem. Every day, someone comes in and pours acid into the soil. That's what inflammation does to your muscle fibers. It disrupts the environment, damages the building blocks, and prevents healthy regeneration. And here sips the deeper issue. As we age, especially after 50, we enter a state called inflammaging. This is low-grade chronic inflammation caused by poor mitochondrial function, increased visceral fat, gut dysbiosis, elevated blood glucose, environmental toxins, and the problem. Inflammation activates catabolic pathways like NFKB and myostatin, which increase muscle breakdown and suppress muscle protein anti-inflammatory effects of this superseed synthesis. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle found that elevated inflammatory markers like IL-6 and TNF-alpha were strongly correlated with accelerated sarcopenia regardless of protein intake. Now, this is where hemp seeds shine because unlike many other protein sources, hemp seeds don't just feed the muscle, they also calm the fire. Here's cites how rich in omega-3 and omega-6 in a perfect ratio. Hemp seeds contain both alpha-linolenic acid ELA and gamma-linolenic acid GLA, which together create a powerful anti-inflammatory effect on the cellular level. Unlike omega-6 rich vegetable oils that cause inflammation, hemp's omega-6 GLA is actually anti-inflammatory. It helps block prostaglandins and cytokines that damage muscle tissue, supports endocannabinoid balance. Hemp seeds are high in compounds that nourish your endocannabinoid system, which regulates pain, inflammation, and stress responses. This means less cortisol, better recovery, and more muscle preservation, improves gut health. Most inflammation begins in the gut. Hemp seeds are rich in prebiotic fiber, which helps feed good bacteria and reduce leaky gut, a key trigger of systemic inflammation. A clinical trial in Nutrients 2021 found that a hemp-enriched diet reduced systemic inflammation and improved gut barrier function in aging adults, leading to improved nutrient absorption and metabolic resilience. High in magnesium, zinc, and vitamin E, all three of these nutrients are critical anti-inflammatories, and most older adults are deficient in them. Magnesium calms the nervous system, zinc repairs muscle microtears. Vitamin E protects your cells from oxidative stress. So instead of adding inflammation like processed meat, dairy, or artificial protein powders often do, hemp acts more like a medicinal food, feeding your muscles and neutralizing the toxins that break them down. Here's sets how to maximize this anti-inflammatory power. Simple hemp anti-inflammatory protocol. Start your day with 2 tablespoons of raw hemp hearts mixed into a chia pudding or green smoothie. Add turmeric and black pepper. This enhances anti-inflammatory synergy through curcumin and pepperin. Sprinkle hemp seeds on top of steamed greens like kale or Swiss chard, along with olive oil and lemon for a nutrient-dense anti-inflammatory dinner side. Drink a cup of ginger or nettle tea alongside your hemp meal to reduce fluid retention and calm muscle soreness. Bonus tip: avoid combining hemp with sugar or refined carbs, which immediately cancel out its anti-inflammatory benefits. The takeaway here is simple: you cannot build muscle in an inflamed body, but when you lower inflammation using functional foods like hemp, your muscles respond quickly. So don't just think of hemp as a protein. Think of it as a metabolic repair tool, one that builds strength not by force, but by restoring harmony inside your body. You now know that hemp seeds are a complete bioavailable anti-inflammatory protein source. Ideal for restoring muscle as you age, but here sips something critical: when and how you eat them is just as important as the food itself. See, your body doesn't just passively absorb protein throughout the day. It has specific windows of opportunity where nutrient uptake into muscle is optimized. These windows are driven by hormones, insulin sensitivity, and circadian rhythms. And for seniors over 60, timing is everything because your body has a smaller anabolic window, best time and way to consume it, and lower protein sensitivity. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of muscle growth like charging a battery. You don't get a steady trickle all day, you get a rapid charge during specific times. If you miss those times, you're just slowly draining your system without rebuilding it. So, when is the best time to eat hemp seeds for maximum muscle growth? When within 30 minutes of light resistance movement. This is when your muscles are open, blood flow is high, and nutrient transport is optimized. Even a short 15-minute walk, some squats or stair climbing activates GLUT4 transporters in your muscle cells, allowing amino acids like leucine and valine to flood into the tissue and stimulate repair. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Physiology found that protein intake within 30-60 minutes after physical activity led to a 25% greater muscle protein synthesis response in older adults versus delayed intake. #2 at the first meal of the day. Contrary to popular belief, breakfast matters more for seniors than for younger adults because your cortisol is high in the morning and muscle breakdown catabolism is active. By adding hemp seeds to your first meal, you switch off that cortisol-driven catabolism and signal anabolic repair. Here's how to do it. Morning hemp muscle building meal. 3 tablespoons raw shelled hemp hearts. 1 tablespoon chia seeds for extra omega-3s and fiber. 1/2 cup unsweetened almond milk or coconut milk. A small handful of berries vitamin C for collagen support. Dash of cinnamon to balance blood sugar. Optional, 1 scoop collagen or grass-fed gelatin for connective tissue repair. Let it sit for 10 minutes to form a pudding or blend for a creamy smoothie. #3. Before bed, but only if you are active. If you've had an active day or strength train in the afternoon, adding 1-2 tablespoons of hemp before bed can provide slow-release amino acids to support overnight repair. But be careful not to combine this with insulin-spiking foods or you'll shut down growth hormone. Pro tip, add 1/2 teaspoon of MCT oil or coconut oil for slower absorption and to support ketone production, which aids muscle preservation. What not to do, don't just sprinkle hemp seeds randomly on cereal or yogurt and expect big results. They must be paired with the right metabolic conditions. Avoid combining hemp with high-sugar smoothies, granola bars, or processed protein drinks. These spike insulin, fuel inflammation, and reduce protein utilization. Don't rely on tiny servings. 1 teaspoon won't do much. You need therapeutic amounts, at least 2. 5 to 3 tablespoons per dose to hit the 23G leucine threshold that activates M2 or your body's muscle growth switch. What to pair it with for deeper absorption. Summary protocol. Best practices for hemp protein timing. After movement 2-3 hemp hearts within 30 minutes of a walk or resistance exercise. First meal. Include hemp in a protein-rich low-insulin breakfast to shut down muscle loss. Hydration. Drink water with sea salt or electrolytes beforehand to improve amino acid transport. Optional bedtime boost. Add 1-2 TBSB with healthy fat if you train late or feel sore. This is how you take something simple, a humble seed, and transform it into a precision muscle building tool tailored to your biology, your age, and your metabolic needs. If you're over 60 or even over 50, the real danger isn't just losing strength. It's losing your metabolic engine, and that starts in your muscles. Because remember, muscle is not just tissue. It's an organ of longevity. More muscle means better insulin sensitivity, more mitochondrial power, better hormone balance, stronger bones, and faster fat burning even while you sleep. And yes, sarcopenia is real, but it's also reversible when you address the root causes. So, let me walk you through a simple daily protocol using everything we've covered so far, from nutrient timing to inflammation control to smart protein use. This isn't set a fitness program, it's a biological reset plan to retrain your body to build and hold onto lean muscle the way it used to. Morning switch off catabolism, kickstart repair, hydrate before food. 1 glass of water with a pinch of sea salt plus splash of lemon. This replenishes minerals, hydrates your cells, and prepares your gut for nutrient absorption. Movement before meals, 10-15 minutes of gentle movement walking, resistance bands, body weight squats. This activates GLUT for transporters in your muscle, making it more responsive to protein and nutrients. First meal, muscle priming breakfast. 2, 3 TBSP hemp hearts, 1 TB chia or flax seed. Handful of berries, small handful of greens or powdered greens. Optional, 1/2 avocado or teaspoon MCT oil. Add collagen powder if you want extra support for tendons and joints. This meal is designed to reduce inflammation. Supply Complete 1 Day Anti-Sarcopenia Meal Strategy, amino acids, and activate muscle protein synthesis with minimal insulin response. Important. Aim for 25-35 g total protein in this first meal. Hemp provides 10-15 g. You can add pastured eggs, collagen, or tofu if desired. Mid-day feed the muscle, calm the fire. Lunch clean protein, fiber, fats. Example, wild salmon salad with olive oil, arugula, hemp seed sprinkle, or cooked lentils with steamed greens, garlic, turmeric, and 2 TBSP hemp hearts. Drink ginger or nettle tea after lunch to reduce inflammation and support digestion. Bonus, gentle walking post-meal. 10-20 minutes of walking after eating improves insulin sensitivity by up to 30%, helping muscles absorb nutrients more effectively. Evening repair mode on light activity or stretching, optional strength session or gentle mobility work, resistance bands, yoga, or a walk. Even 10 minutes counts. Movement triggers the body to retain muscle during rest. Dinner =sign anti-inflammatory and recovery-focused steamed vegetables, hemp oil or olive oil drizzle, protein of choice, pastured chicken, legumes, or eggs. If tolerated, add turmeric, basil, ginger, or rosemary. All natural inflammation blockers, optional nighttime protein support. If you train that day or feel sore, 1-2 TBSP hemp hearts in warm almond milk with cinnamon. Avoid carbs at night unless extremely active. Insulin at night suppresses growth hormone. Key supporting nutrients to add optional but powerful magnesium. 405-100 mg at night improves sleep, relaxes muscles, supports recovery. Vitamin D3 plus K2 morning critical for muscle function and calcium metabolism. Zinc 10-20 milligrams with food helps with testosterone production and muscle repair. Curcumin with black pepper excellent for chronic inflammation, joint pain, and post-exercise soreness. Digestive enzymes if you experience bloating or indigestion with meals. These help you extract amino acids more efficiently. Recap the daily anti-sarcopenia blueprint. Move before meals to prime nutrient delivery. Start your day with 2-3 TBSP hemp hearts plus healthy fats plus polyphenols. Keep lunch and dinner rich in anti-inflammatory foods with protein and fiber. Use hemp strategically post-activity or during recovery windows. Target 90-100 g of total protein daily, but make sure it sits absorbed, not just consumed. Prioritize sleep and rest. Muscle is rebuilt at night, not during workouts. This isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about building a daily rhythm that supports anabolism, the state of growth, and reduces catabolism, the state of breakdown. And when you make the shift, your strength comes back, your posture improves, your energy stabilizes, and your metabolism starts working for you. Final thoughts and natural muscle protocol, not against you. I want to leave you with one powerful truth. You are not too old, you are not too weak, and you are definitely not beyond repair. We've been told that muscle loss is just a part of aging, that fatigue is inevitable, that the body just can sit to rebuild after 60. But the science and my experience with thousands of patients says the opposite. When you give your body the right signals, it responds. Even at 70, even at 80, you now know the truth. Hemp seeds are fit just trendy health food. They are a metabolic signal rich in complete protein, anti-inflammatory fats, and muscles, saving nutrients that turn on anabolism, especially in aging bodies. The key is consistency. This soup is not what you eat once. It skins what you build into your daily rhythm, and now you have got the blueprint. Use hemp seeds daily for steady amino acids. Time your protein around movement. Eliminate chronic inflammation from food and lifestyle. Get deep restorative sleep and give your muscles a reason to stay through simple daily movement. This isn't about six-pack abs. It's about being able to stand up from a chair without pain, walk to the store without fatigue, lift your grandchild with confidence, and live your life with strength, stability, and independence. A challenge for you: start today, not next week, not after the next blood test. Add 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds to your first meal tomorrow. Take a walk, stretch your legs, feel your body respond, even if it's subtle, because your body is listening. And when you give it the right message, it will rebuild. Muscle is not just for youth. It's your key to healthy aging, metabolic freedom, and a stronger future. You have what it takes. If this helped you, please share this video with a loved one over 60 who needs to hear this message. This is Metabolic Mindset, and I'll see you in the next video.